When the storm arrives, leaves shed, the branches break, and sometimes even the trees are uprooted by the mighty winds. Still, this is not the end of the journey, for the real essence in the seed stays untouched, unbound, and unaffected by the outer turmoil. Namaskar, friends. By far, we have studied the real cause behind the change in matter and two approaches to understanding reality. We have also discussed how beneath all visible and observable changes lies an essence that never changes and never loses its permanence. Moving on to the journey and taking the next step, the student may ask how that unchangeable essence can be known. Hence, our teacher takes our attention to the highest intellectual ability that all humans can achieve by saying, he who perceives the consciousness as neither bound by any outer phenomena nor touched by any alien substance is the right knower in the real sense. When we consider the word any from this teaching, we must know that here any means everything that has physicality, like words and our bodies, and everything that is temporary, either decay after a certain time or changes its form and qualities. For example, words have forms and can be considered not bound to the consciousness, and so do our bodies. As we all know that as soon as one dies, the body starts to decay. Every one of us mistakenly believes that our emotions, such as feelings and desires, are a part of our consciousness. However, the text we are studying teaches us that each of our emotions, like despair, attachment, and aversion, irrespective of how mild or intense they are temporary and have no connection to the soul. As we continue to study this text, the teacher logically proves that no emotion has the power to bind or affect the soul. As he clarifies next, the consciousness is not other than itself, is steady, without any difference, and not combined with anything. This seems challenging to believe that how even our anger, desires, feelings of like and dislike, insecurities, and the rest of the emotions are not really us. Let us take another example. Imagine a situation when you are angry at someone, say your maid has broken something precious, and your anger seems boundless as that showpiece was pretty expensive. Here, pause for a moment and ponder that now you have two options: to shout out loud at your maid for the loss she has caused, or to deal with your anger wisely and find another more peaceful way to convey your annoyance to the maid. Of course, you will stay angry from within. However, gradually you will notice that your anger will subside by evening or maybe sooner. Noticing this process of subsidence is in the context of knowing our real nature is the key to peace of mind. We can apply this to another emotions as well, and we will reach the same conclusion that no matter how bad or intense they are, they keep changing their degrees of intensity, and eventually they leave us. The passage of time plays a significant role in this healing. Perhaps this is why our ancestors said time is the biggest healer. This indicates that our real nature is calm, but some outer circumstances disturb it and initiate various degrees of different emotions. I hope it makes sense. Now let us retake today's teaching and try practicing it by rephrasing it according to our current mindset. For example, if one is feeling low, he can close his eyes and repeat the following in his head. I perceive myself as neither bound nor touched by any of the emotions. I do not endure them. I am only the knower of my adversities. I am pure consciousness. I am not other than my pure self. My real essence is steady, without any difference. In reality, I am not combined with anything. Friends, now let us discuss a few challenges the student faces while studying this text. There are mainly two important things to keep in mind. The first is to ask yourself, whatever the teacher is saying, does it make sense? And second, do I feel peaceful and calm while listening to or watching these talks? If the answer to both the questions is yes, you are on the right track. Also, do not forget what our teacher said in the beginning. Let me repeat it once again. He conveyed, I am sharing the fundamental nature of the self based on my experience. You can keep this knowledge and keep living your life. Believe it only when you experience it, otherwise, you are free to disagree. At the same time, we must also give special attention to the fact that the teacher is not asking us to bow our heads in front of a man made God. Rather, he is introducing us to the absolute soul each of us has, known as Paramatma or absolute soul in Indian tradition. My suggestion would be, despite being everyone's quest, no one can find the truth for us. Hence, we need to take some time out of our daily routine to try to understand what life is all about. Studying philosophical texts like this prepares us to move on the path of truth step by step. There should be neither haste nor it should be forced. To simplify it even further, let us recite a doha from Kabir. धीरे धीरे रे मना, धीरे सब कुछ होए, माली सींचे 100 घड़ा, ऋतु आए फल होए, which translates into English as, have patience my soul. Everything is accomplished slowly and with time. No matter if the gardener uses 100 pots of water, the tree will bear fruits only when the right season arrives. Now let us throw light upon key takeaways from today's lesson. 1. Anything that can be grasped through the senses is temporary in nature and will either change or decay with time. 2. As our emotions keep changing their degrees too, even they are temporary. 3. During each change, there is an underlying essence which stays unaffected and unchanged. That essence is actually our real essence. 4. One needs patience to proceed on the path to knowing oneself. And last but not least, 5. We all are able to travel from being the normal soul to the absolute soul. That this text prepares us for the same. On this note, I take your leave. Thank you so much. Take care and goodbye.